Hey, what up? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Henny Show. Young Thug is making the dumbest decisions of his life, man. Citing his Michael Phelps tweet, persecutors win ruling against Young Thug in the RICO case. He got the nerve to ask this man if he could swim from Costa Rica all the way back to the US in 30 minutes. You trying to get this man a job or something? I'm really starting to think that Young Thug is losing his mind up in there because he act like Fannie Willis not watching everything that he do.
We are here today about a grand jury indictment that was returned that included not just Jeffrey Williams, which is of some notoriety and media attention, but about 28 defendants that operated within our community between the time period of 2012 and 2022. It is our allegation that they operated as a criminal street gang and commenced to do havoc in our community. That havoc includes crimes of violence, crimes of thefts, crimes involving drugs. I've made no secret about it, nor any apology that as the district attorney of Fulton County, my number one focus is targeting gangs. And there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community. And so they have to be rooted out of our community.
I'm all the way with you, Fanny. We gotta feel safe in our neighborhoods. But if this tweet is causing you to put this man in jail for the rest of his life, that got me questioning the motive of everybody behind this situation because it sounds like a money grab. Y'all gotta take a look at what Young Thug said to this man that got everybody so hot. A tweet from Young Thug's Twitter account to swimmer Michael Phelps were brought up in a Georgia court hearing this week in connection to YSL, the rapper's ongoing RICO case, which has yet to go to trial. Last month, a tweet from Young Thug's official Twitter account asked the Olympian swimmer if he could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore. He trying to get this man to move some yayo. It's either that or they ain't got no reason to be mad at Young Thug for asking this man a question. Now, he said some things in the past that really didn't make no sense, but now he asking his friends to send out tweets to celebrities because he trying to build relationships with these people. He know a lot of people that's persecuting him are big fans of Michael Phelps, so he trying to reach out, but you supposed to be El Chapo, and if you asking this man if he could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore, why do you need to know? What do you want him to bring back from Costa Rica or Puerto Rico or Cuba or Jamaica or wherever you trying to get him to get some work, man? Fannie Willis not stupid. Young Thug, you gonna have to wake up. And the streets is talking. And that's why my question for y'all is YSL being locked up stopping the crime in your community? I know you're not in law enforcement or nothing like that, but you have to imagine these people get paid to do what they do, and by dragging this in the media, you know they making big money off of this. Do you feel like it's making a difference for the black people living in the city of Atlanta that Young Thug and YSL is in jail?
No, I don't. In fact, I believe that it could cause more chaos. I mean, these kids love these rappers, and I don't think that I don't know the impact that they had on the community in the first place. I don't know, what they're being I know what they're being investigated for, but I don't know everything that led up to the investigation. So I don't know what law enforcement knows, but I will say this about the Michael Phelps thing, because I did see this in the comments. Mm-hmm. Somebody had mentioned that, was he suggesting that maybe he would throw Michael Phelps in the middle of the ocean and make him swim all the way 100 miles to shore? I mean, what was that comment even about?
Well, this is my take on it. I feel like Young Thug is trying to reach out to some non-hip-hop celebrities because they can really pull some strings. All of the people at his record label, they just sitting back like, I guess we gonna wait this out. Like, they ain't got millions of billions of dollars. He like, look, maybe I need to get in good with David Beckham or Michael Phelps or ask him something he might think is funny and want to reach out and be my friend and help me get out of this situation, because he got nothing but black people holding his ass under the water, so he looking for a little bit of white relief.
Oh my gosh, and I feel terrible for even thinking like that about him, but obviously, they have thrown him in jail. and they are painting a negative picture against him and his friends. So
Yeah, it's just
I mean,
a bad
good
look.
luck for them. Exactly. I don't know.
And you know what? I said something earlier, and a lot of people gonna take offense to it. And since I got my lovely sister on the phone, I might as well say the same thing and hear her take on it. Sister, this is my philosophy of this whole situation. With Fannie Willis being a black female, she can get away with doing this to Young Thug because we got so much love for the queen. Imagine if Fannie Willis was an old Caucasian or Asian or a non-black woman. People would be calling her all different types of racists. How you gonna do this to them? Had them in jail. Where is the proof? Why is they sitting behind there? Y'all really using the lyrics in the courtroom? People would say this is ridiculous. Even
yes,
if
they would.
They would. Is that how you feel about it too?
They will probably be marching all over Atlanta because who does that? Who uses lyrics from somebody's song and then uses it against them in court? I mean, normally these things are general statements. I shot him and I, ran in his house. And I mean, that's something that everybody, I do freestyling and I say stuff like that. And I ain't never did that before in my life. So
exactly. Ain't no telling what's gonna come out your mouth when you spitting it off the top of your head and you ain't writing nothing down. You just saying whatever comes to your mind.
Exactly.
Real talk. And my other theory was if the Atlanta DA was a black man, he wouldn't get no love in Atlanta. Where he gonna go and get some love? And you got Young Thug and Gunna sitting behind bars. You using their lyrics in the court. Like, they wouldn't let him live that down. They would have memes
But you
and
know
shit.
what, though?
Mhm.
Think about this whole administration in 2022. That's what Joe Biden, I almost kind of lost my...
Yeah, I got scared too when you said homie name. I'm over here paranoid. What we talking about? What he got to do with anything?
No, but with the whole Donald Trump thing and how they raided his house and it was illegal how they allowed the FBI to raid the man's house and that kind of thing. I mean, it's like the law, the government, they're doing things a little bit differently now, and some of the stuff that they're doing is unconstitutional, if that's a word.
Yes, that's the perfect word for it. They doing stuff that the law don't even, that's not even abiding by the law, a lot of the stuff that they doing. The way they putting these cases together, you can't use somebody's artwork to incriminate them, especially if you ain't got no proof of them doing an actual crime. If that's the case, you got all these death metal bands need to be sitting right up in jail with Young Thug, with the stuff they be saying in heavy metal music or any other type of alternative rock or hip hop ain't the only one that be talking crazy.
Yep. Aerosmith. What about Aerosmith and how they use Alicia Silverstone in their videos when she was 16 years old? I mean, maybe they should be investigated and locked up.
Hold on, look, you're not about to be talking about Mick Jagger like that on my live stream. I love Aerosmith. It ain't like they had Aaliyah in the video or something like that. You dead wrong. First you said something about Joe Biden. Now you talking about Mick Jagger? Oh, you don't cross the line on the Henny Show. I'm going to have to put on my Uncle Ruckus overalls and kick you up off the chair. But that's neither here nor there. I appreciate your phone call, sister. I don't know what took you so long to call in. I've been waiting. But now that you called in, I'm feeling real good about myself. I just want to let you know that I really do appreciate you. And don't be no stranger. Make sure you call back whenever you feel like it. You heard?
Ciao. Yep.
No doubt, sister. I'll at you later. Word up. Is YSL being locked up stopping the crime in your community? Do you feel like Fannie Willis is doing the right thing by having these men behind bars? What's your take on this whole situation?
Well, I live in Oklahoma, kind of, out in the middle of nowhere. But I watch, the news all the time at Oklahoma City, and there's always problems. And what makes me angry is she is not doing anything to help the community. She said, you'll have a target on your backs. That's unacceptable. Somebody said it's unconstitutional, and I believe that as well, because then you get back into the racial profiling. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, I could talk forever, but it's just a shame how people, like her just want to, dog on people that are less fortunate, that need help. They need programs to help them get out of the situation they're in, and jail is just not the answer. And it just makes me mad that that's her solution to the problem.
You know what? You just opened my eyes to something, because sometimes I like to dress down or dress up and have a hip hop flair. I might go outside with some new sneakers, a nice jacket, some nice pants, and somebody might mistake me for a gangbanger because I decided to dress a certain type of way. So if Fannie Williams saying that you have a target on your back, that's putting a target on every black male's back that just so happen to look a certain type of way.
Exactly, and that goes right back to the police, the bad ones that are out there. Oh, there's a black man. He must, he's got a target. Let's go get him. You know what I mean? It makes things worse.
Yeah, and for a black woman to reinforce racial profiling, that's a disgrace if you really think about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think we all know that, unfortunately, black men end up in jail, or they end up, dead a lot more than any other race that's out there. So, why aren't we focusing on that? Why aren't we making programs to keep them out of jail, to give them, incentives, to put them in college? And it's just, this doesn't solve the problem. It just makes it worse.
Yes, exactly. And I'm so glad that somebody see it that way, because a lot of people don't understand how bad this is for the community as a whole. And we want to thank you so much for your phone call. And don't you be no stranger. Make sure you call back whenever you feel like it beautiful. Is YSL being locked up making a difference in your neighborhood? Because all they got to do is put out another rapper or put out some new talent that's saying the same stuff that Young Thug was talking about. Do you feel like it even make a difference for these dudes to be sitting up in jail?
It doesn't make a difference at all, because there's a huge void now, and it's going to be filled by another gang of rappers. So you have to get to the industry itself, because trace the money, go back to the big boss. If it's really a RICO charge, we're going for the big boss. That's it. Then it's not a RICO charge, then it's all a joke, because somebody has to fill the void, or Young Thug's void, and we already know there's new rappers coming in. So yeah.
And you know what? You making a lot of sense. You saying when they do a RICO, they trying to go for the person at the top, but the only issue is they saying that Young Thug is the boss of all bosses. How is that even possible? Who put him in the game? Who's writing his checks? How is he even able to do shows? How can you put everything on Young Thug like he the mastermind when he's a rapper?
And he's just a rapper. Who's even behind the camera? Because the person behind the camera too, that's part of the conspiracy. Because even the media too, even wherever they saw his music, whoever was taking his music out, that's conspiracy too, because they were part of it. They knew, they heard it before we heard it. The label heard his music, they heard everything before it came out to the public. So go for the label and go for the big boss. That's it.
That is so true, but they not going to do that because the label is the damn criminal justice system. They the ones calling the shots. Like Jay-Z hired somebody in law enforcement to help him run Rock Nation. So they all in cahoots with each other.
And you know what? You just have to put it all together. And because all this is just unlawful, for the fact that a snitch who commits a crime can get out, that itself is just unlawful. For the fact that 21 Savage, he with all the immigration process, that is unlawful for the fact that he's still here. So we're going to put all that together as a whole sum, and then we're going to go for the big boss, like how we did for Harvey Weinstein. He was the big boss, but we got him at the end of the day. So this is just all a collection. We're putting this all together. So keep going. We're putting this all together. Once we get the right person, they're going to go for the big boss with all this evidence. It's right in our face. That's what I love about it. It's right in our face.
Yo, that is so real, man. You just hit the nail on the head. If they really wanted to put a stop to this, they would go after the people that put this music out there, these platforms that put it out there so people can listen and be influenced by this type of stuff, man. Yo, that was the realest conversation ever. And don't be no stranger, bro. No doubt.
Sean, can I say one more thing?
Oh, word up, no doubt.
Oh my
This is propaganda at the end of the day. It is part of a war against the citizen of America. So it's like they're using a weapon of propaganda against the American citizens. So this is a perjury. It's just a huge crime. That's all I'm going to say. It is a huge crime.
Yo, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. And once again, Zulu, man, don't be no stranger. Make sure you call back whenever you feel like it, bro. Real talk, man. Yo, that was the realest of the realest conversation that we had all night, man. I want to give a shout out to Zulu, man, for breaking that down, and everybody else that called in. I got so much love for y'all, man. Make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe